Hello everyone, my name is Bradley Hauer from the University of Alberta. In this presentation, I will introduce our work, Don't Trust ChatGPT When Your Question is Not in English, a study of multilingual abilities and types of LLMs. In this work, we propose a systematic way of qualitatively and quantitatively evaluating the multilingual capabilities of LLMs. Linguists categorize bilingual individuals into three groups: compound, coordinate, and subordinate bilinguals. The figure on the right illustrates this categorization, showing how individuals with different types of English-French bilingualism might internally represent the concept of knife. Compound bilingualism entails a shared mental representation of lexicons across both languages the speaker acquires. Compound bilinguals are the most flexible in their use of multiple languages, exhibiting the ability to switch between languages without losing consistency when solving linguistic problems. In contrast, individuals exhibiting coordinate bilingualism maintain separate mental representations of the lexicon of each language they learn. Finally, subordinate bilinguals often act like translators. They usually have one primary language that they think and respond in. When doing problems in a different language, they tend to translate the problem into their native language, come up with an answer in that native language, and then translate it back to the language of the problem. Our investigation involves two kinds of NLP problems: translation equivariant and translation variant problems. For translation equivariant problems, or TE problems, the correct output for a given question is independent of the chosen language. The upper part of the figure on the right is an example of a translation equivariant problem, knowledge access. The day after Monday is always Tuesday, regardless of the language in which the question is asked. For translation variant problems, or TV problems, translating the input may change the correct output. TV problems rely heavily on the language used. In the lower part of the figure, we can see an example of a TV problem: pun detection. The English input contains a pun. A bicycle can't stand on its own since it's too tired. However, the Spanish translation has no such pun. Most LLMs, such as ChatGPT, are trained principally on English, and their ability to handle problems in multiple languages has not been thoroughly explored. Our study into whether these large language models have reached a level of true multilingual understanding, or if they are still acting like translators using English as their primary language. Thus, we must understand the multilingual capabilities of LLMs in all languages. We want to understand how can we study the multilingual capabilities of LLMs. What kind of mistakes can we expect LLMs to make on multilingual tasks, and how can we avoid these mistakes? The flowchart on the right is an overview of our evaluation process, in which the multilingualism of LLMs is categorized according to the consistency of responses observed on translation equivariant and translation variant problems across a variety of languages. We tested ChatGPT on three translation equivariant problems: math reasoning, knowledge access, and common sense reasoning. Looking at the results on this slide, we can see that ChatGPT does best in problems like math and common sense reasoning when the questions are in English. It is about 10% more accurate in English than in other languages. These results provide strong evidence that ChatGPT is better able to reason and retrieve knowledge given an English prompt compared to equivalent prompting in other languages. We also tested two translation variant problems: pun detection and cover letter generation. In this slide, we show the location accuracy for pun detection problems. Given a sentence that contains a pun, the pun location is the word that makes the sentence a pun. Location accuracy measures how accurately the LLM can identify the pun location in a sentence which has a pun. Interestingly, ChatGPT can often locate Spanish and French puns even when the pun is translated into English. It can also catch English puns translated into other languages, including Chinese, with at least 50% accuracy. This suggests a strong tendency towards subordinate multilingualism. Further, on this slide, we show the results of our analysis of asking ChatGPT to generate cover letters given a short description of a job applicant. The cover letters were analyzed by native Chinese speakers. For example, the pie chart shows the percentage of sign-offs in Chinese cover letters generated by ChatGPT. Surprisingly, the correct letter sign-off in Chinese is rarely used. Overall, ChatGPT's Chinese output was determined to read as though it were written in English and translated into Chinese, again providing strong evidence of subordinate multilingualism. In conclusion, we proposed a novel evaluation protocol for studying the multilingualism of LLMs. We conclude that ChatGPT exhibits behavior characteristic of subordinate multilingualism with English as its native language. This negatively impacts performance in non-English languages. We suggest the following ideas to enable LLMs to achieve compound multilingualism. We suggest using more parallel multilingual training data, as well as incorporating multimodal, such as vision training data, into the training process. Thank you.